Okay, this year the Shnat Tafshin Pe Aleph 5781. We don't have the real Shabbat Shechalbo because Tisha B'Av falls on Sunday, so there is no real Shabbat Shechalbo. However, the years that there is a Shabbat Shechalbo, there are certain restrictions when it comes to participating in the Simcha of Brit, Mila or Pidyon Haben, where they are serving meat. So the question is, who is allowed to eat from the Seudah of Brit Mila or Pidyon Haben eating meat? Is this an open permission for everyone? Is whoever attending that Seudah, Pidyon Haben or Brit Mila within the Shavua Shechalbo, the week that Tisha B'Av falls on, is anyone just allowed to go ahead and eat basari meat or not? So according to us, the Sephardim, the halacha is that only those relatives that are pasul as an aid for each other, that they are prohibited to become as a witness to testify against each other, they are allowed to partake in such a meal and eat meat. For example, a brother cannot become aid for his brother, right? Cannot become a witness, a day kedushin, or other testimonies in court. So that brother could eat from the seudah of his brother because he is pasul be'edut. Or a cousin is not allowed to give testimony for his cousin. So that cousin is allowed to eat from basari, the seudat meat of such a simcha. Right? A father is not allowed to give testimony against his son, or vice versa, son against the father. So both can partake, can eat from the seudah basari, from the seudah of Beit Mila or Pidyon Haben. Right? And this goes on, the list goes on as we're going to explain further, but this meal really needs to be limited to 10 people. Right? 10 people, that this way they have, if I may add, they have, Nevarech, Elokeinu Nevarech, and this way this would be a better Nevarech, the Bikat HaMazon. So it says in the Torah, the testimony of one's father against son, or one's son against the father, is invalid. So all these people whose testimony against each other are invalid are allowed to eat basari and attend this seudah. Right? Why? Because the testimony is not good. In other words, it's as if they said nothing. Right? Also, grandfather for the grandchildren, right, cannot give testimony. So the grandfather can eat basari in this seudah. As we mentioned, cousins cannot be giving testimony for each other, so they can partake the seudah, right? And also the in-laws, brother-in-laws cannot become aid for each other, bajanak in Farsi, so they can partake in this seudah. Now, when it comes to this discussion, now this is perhaps something that we need to mention, that in the marriage ceremonies, right, one needs to pay extra attention choosing those edim that are kosher. Now, what are the restrictions for kosher edim? Right? First of all, they have to be shomer Shabbat, shomer mitzvot, and they should not be related. If they are related, then the testimony, what they witness is not a good testimony, is not a good edut, and it invalidates, right? It becomes pasul what they did, right? So much so, if there are 100 edim there, right, as a ed, and one of the edim is related to the khatan, right, or the kalla, then that invalidates the whole ceremony, the whole edut. So one needs to pay extra attention. That's why there is a Mesadeh Kiddushin, there is a person who is in charge of appointing who are going to be Edei Kiddushin, right? And he makes sure that they are not related to the Khatan or Kalla. That this way the marriage ceremony would not have any problem, right? Now there is an interesting Chidush that a grandfather can become Ed, can give testimony, can become Ed for his neched, right? For his the son of his grandson, if I'm not mistaken, the son of his grandson, right? So this way he can become a testimony because this is like far away, right? Right? So that's what the Mesadeh Kiddushin needs to announce, that he appointed edim that are kosher to give testimony, and this way the marriage ceremony, right, would not be problematic. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen. Amen.